Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so glad that you could join with me today. We are here to do our pull for the collective. We're just instinctually grabbing 3 cards as one does. I'd like to see some new energy in here. There's some good energy in here. So we really have some energy of motion, but we also have a little bit of a situation to observe and be aware of, okay? So when we're talking Mother of Cups, she is the absolute definition of the muse. She is inspirational to others. She is able to provide perspective and inspiration and direction and guidance to so many people, and yet she is just as easily affected by the water energies as anyone would be. Now, she is easily found in the arts, but she's just as easily found in a nurturing capacity. She has all of the emotional output, but there is also this tendency to get caught up in those emotions, which can really throw her off. So, with this energy, Spirit is asking us to just be aware of how much time we're spending critiquing, naysaying, being frustrated with situations, dwelling on things that we have no control over, spending time in environments that aren't conducive to being productive. She has a tendency to kind of get lost and create too many projects to work on all at once. She's got all these great ideas and she wants to do all these things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be very set on finalizing these projects. And that's what we want to be aware of, because she's got all this great info, all of this great energy. She has all of the ability to pull this off, and yet just as easily distracted and pulled off course. Now, we do have the focused energy here of our Ace of Swords. So we can pull that in and actually use this energy and this inspiration to do some work here. It's important that we don't take on too many projects or try to start too many things right now. You've got time. You don't have to try to put everything into place right now. What's important is that you pick your 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 if you're really good at multitasking. Goals, lay them out on the table and figure out what it is that actually is going to be able to be completed in a reasonable time frame before you lose this motivation and energy. We know that we can pull off whatever we want to pull off. We also know that we get a little excited and we get a lot of stuff going and we can't keep it all going. It's just too much. And she's so beautiful and she's so fun and she has this great energy to bring to whatever she's doing. But if she gets overwhelmed, she gets a little snippy. She gets a little frazzled. She tends to be forgetful and she's got so much on her plate that she loses track of her priorities. She can't keep that schedule locked in. So as much as we might say, "Oh, I'm feeling great and I'm on it and I'm getting everything rocked out," like right now I'm in that mode where I'm feeling really accomplished and I'm on top of my schedule. But I also know that I'm at my limit. I really can't take on more tasks right now. And as much as I have these great ideas and I'm like, "Oh, and I could do this and I could do this and I could work on my art and I can finish this project." I know that if I start some of these extra things, I'm just not going to get them done. I'm not going to be able to maintain that, because right now I'm riding nice and smooth. I've got the energy to maintain that. And I've got this really great consistent energy to work with. And it's going to ride out for me. I'm going to be able to keep that going. But I got to keep my reality in the forefront of my mind as well. And know that I might need to put some stuff on the back burner for a minute. I might need to just jot some notes down, put that sticky note up there for down the road when I have a little bit more time, when I complete some of these other tasks, when I get some of these other projects in order. I really want to focus on just a few things that are most important right now, because there's going to be more coming. There is a lot more things that you're going to want to get involved in. And as it gets warmer out there, you're going to jump into these other things. And then you're going to go, oh no, I didn't finish this, and this. So this is why we need to just kind of be aware. Let's just be aware of our limitations. The energy is amazing. Focus on the things that you can accomplish and don't try to put too much on your plate right now. The sun is ensuring that if we do what it is that we have set out to do, if we actually put them goals out in front of us and say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and there's all this beautiful stuff over here, and I love it, and I want it, and I'm going to get to it. I'm going to jot these things down. But if I focus on just those 3 things, I'm gonna get it done. And it's gonna be great. And it's gonna be at the level that I want to see it done at. That's what we're being careful of, because if we spread ourselves too thin, then we don't get the outcome that we knew we could accomplish. It's gonna be like settling for less than quality. We don't want to get over our heads. We can do an amazing amount of really top quality work if we keep it within these boundaries. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to accomplish all these other things. We've got all the optimism in the world right now, and we're feeling motivated and we're on top of things. But we know that we go in cycles, and there's going to be days that get tough, and it gets harder to accomplish those things. Things get heavy, things that we aren't expecting come and hit us. So don't feel like you need to keep stacking onto your plate. Got so much beautiful stuff going on there, and just keep shining in these few areas. Knock out these goals first, okay? Stay focused on what it is that we know we can accomplish, because these things are going to be amazingly beautiful. We are going to really be proud of ourselves when we get these couple of things done. This is where we start to get frustrated if we try to take on too much. So let's just focus in and doing the best job that we can do on the few things that we have on our plate right now. And let's put these other things aside. They're going to have their moment. They're going to have their season. It's just about prioritizing right now so that we can do the best that we're capable of doing. Okay. Real quick, just pulled, I anticipated only pulling one from this deck. I ended up pulling 2. So we're going to rock with this, because these 3 things really kind of hone in even more on what Spirit was talking about. In that first video, we've got lifting the veil, questioning everything, and anything unaligned must go. So if we're stacking too many things on our plate, that plate's going to get wobbly and we're not going to be able to maintain it. It's going to get really out of control. We know our limits. You know that you can only carry so much in your little bitty arms, or maybe you have big arms. I don't know. But you know you can only carry so much, and there's this tendency, this leadership card, there's this tendency that we have to want to be able to do all the things. And we're so motivated right now to do all these things. There's some really exciting projects that you're building up to. And that's what this leadership card is actually focusing on. It's focusing on this sensible step by step. Because if we try to jump steps, the people that are inspired by us, that are being motivated by us, that are invigorated by us, and that are working steps alongside of us, they're not going to be able to keep track of this. This is going to become like too much. Good leadership is about being realistic about what we can accomplish, delegating some tasks. It doesn't have to all be you, right? If you know that there's some things that other people are good at, or even just capable of, let them do it. You focus on just a few things, because when you do that and you shine in those few areas, other people are able to really see what that's like. They realize that the value is in not just the quantity of things that you accomplish, but the quality of what you're accomplishing. Would you rather take 5 classes and get a barely passing grade, or take 2 or 3 classes and ace them? What makes more sense? You're going to get more out of 3 classes that you ace, that you do really phenomenally well at, than trying to cram 5 in, because then you're just, it's so much, you kind of lose and details slip through the cracks. And that's what we're with our leadership card that we want to be aware of. We don't want things to slip through the cracks. We want to be really thorough, complete, good, solid direction. And this involves being a good team leader. So as an example to the people that are inspired by you, that are motivated by you, that are following, that are working for you on these projects, so that are part of your household, that are part of your friend team, you're being a good example for them by just being realistic about, like, yeah, this is a great idea, and I love this idea for you, and I love this idea for us, and we're gonna rock it. But I really want to focus on just doing a really good job on this thing, and then once we get this thing racked out, let's go and tackle that other thing, because that just makes more sense. Okay, the blessings card that came up with this, because we know that all of these things are beautiful gifts. This is all a part of our manifesting, and the universe has given us an opportunity to really show how badly we want something. We don't want to just pull it off. We want to excel. We want, and we know that we've been tested before. We've had this opportunity before to go at some of these tasks, and we overwhelmed ourselves with trying to do too much. I can think right now of like 3 different areas where I'm wanting to do more because I feel like I have the energy to do it, but also I know that if I do that, I'm not going to be at this excellent level of really quality work, putting out the stuff consistently. That is like, yeah, that's why she's a good one. That's why you want her on your team. That's why we follow her. That's why we pay attention to what she's doing. So my blessing in this is in being patient and knowing that all these beautiful things are coming in time and in the right alignment. And I don't have to overwhelm myself. I don't have to rush things. I'm just appreciating the fact that I have this energy and motivation, and I've got this stuff that I'm working on, and I'm doing it well. And I know that when I finish this, there's more for me to keep going. I've got more goals beyond this, and I'm going to do those well as well. And I'm going to feel really good about them, and they're going to keep coming, and all the blessings are going to keep rolling at me because I'm doing what I said I was going to do, which is quality work, not doing a bunch of work. It's tricky, it's balance, but that's why you're in that leadership role, because you've already learned that lesson and you know how to teach that lesson to other people as well. You're being the example of that. So be mindful of what you're putting on your plate right now, because we're really trying to focus on doing good work, not just a lot of work. Okay, so we're pulling another message through here, this third read. This is our shamanic journey. This is about attunement, our purpose, and then we've got truth transcends illusion. I'm getting that there's some I don't want to say ops, but at the same time, there's some people that don't like you or they don't like what you're trying to accomplish. It's a little bit of like resentment, a little bit of bitterness. They didn't learn their lesson. They overdid it, or they failed at something, and they see you trying to accomplish something, and they really just don't want to see you succeed. They might even be speaking ill about you behind your back. They've got critique. They've got things to say about what you're doing. They got all kinds of, and this is something that you're so divinely guided and you're so in tune and in touch with what you're trying to accomplish. You're really not trying to waste any energy on this. And that's what spirit wants to tell you is like, that's exactly right. You don't need to give that any pay no mind to all that nonsense that's going on. That's their projection and their issue. They didn't learn their lesson. In fact, they kind of like put it out for you that they were like, they can't pull it off. There's no way they can. You know what? Good luck with that. It's kind of like this very like underhanded compliment type stuff where it's like they're saying maybe to your face that they wish you well, but as soon as you turn around, they're just like they've got it out for you. They don't want to see it go well for you. But you know what? Spirit's been guiding you all along. Spirit empowered you with the vision. Spirit empowered you with the intuition and the connection and the divine guidance to understand that your purpose, there is a specific series of accomplishments that you're working towards. You understand that everything is coming in divine timing. So you don't feel stressed about this at all. No. Truth transcends illusion. The dragonfly spirit is here to ensure for us that it's all going to come out in the open. They're going to be looking real silly, like real silly. Let them. And you know what? You're not even going to take as much joy from that as you think you will. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, that'll be great. Ha. But like, you're just so focused on what you're trying to accomplish for yourself. You're trying to improve your own life. You're trying to live out your highest potential. You're trying to really fulfill your purpose in this life. And you feel so in touch and guided and in tune with who you are that really nothing's going to shake you. Not even when this happens. You're just going to be like, yeah, told ya anyways, and keep it moving. Reality is that people have feelings about other people because of the insecurities that they themselves feel. Now we can flip this because if they're cheering you on, it's because they're really good at that too. Right? So like when you're feeling like somebody's really doing good work, that's one of your qualities too. When you're feeling like somebody's a little something something, that's a little bit of shadow work. But you were doing that work when they were not. They were sitting there with, drinking that haterade. Somebody said it recently. It's been in my head ever since. Drinking that haterade. But really, that's not your problem. It's not. It doesn't matter. None of that's going to affect you at all. And you know what? It's going to come through at some point. It's going to show up. You're going to be shining and you're going to have this very clean conscience because of it. Because you felt so guided and you stayed in tune with what felt right. And you stayed focused on your own happiness and the doing and not just the talking. You were doing the work while they were talking. So you were sitting down, you were being quiet, you were studying, you were focused, you were trying to accomplish your goals, and you weren't really worried about what other people were doing. And they're over there just like, okay, anyways, I'm over here like, trying to do what I'm trying to do. You don't need to understand it. You don't need to see it. Why are you paying attention to me anyway? Mind your business. That's really what it is. It's a mind your business because I'm minding mine. Spirit has got you here. Spirit is just going to make sure that everything is shown. The truth will be shown. The truth will come out. And it's not going to affect you in the slightest. So you don't even need to pay any attention to any of that. Just kind of let it roll. Flutter about, beautiful dragonfly. Go live your life. You're doing such a good job. There's so much work to be done, and you're just killing it out here. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this validates your path. I hope that this affirms what you're feeling and you feel wonderful and you're out there accomplishing your goals and you're staying focused, you're staying mindful, staying on track. Thank you for joining me.